What if there was a version of English so simple it could act as a kind of universal key, something to unlock communication all over the world? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today, an idea called basic English.
All right, let's just jump right in with a huge question. Think about it for a sec. Could you really say everything you need to say? I mean, truly get your point across using just 850 English words? It sounds almost impossible, doesn't it?
Well, that number, 850, it's not random. It's the magic number behind basic English. And this isn't some new app or idea. It actually goes way back to the 1930s, to a linguist named Charles K. Ogden. His goal was to build a complete but simple version of the language around a core set of words chosen to give you the most bang for your buck.
So let's unpack this. English in 850 words. And what's so cool about this is that it's not about, dumbing down the language or stripping it of its beauty. It's actually a pretty clever, kind of elegant solution to this huge universal problem. How do we all talk to each other when we come from totally different places?
Okay, so how on earth does this actually work in practice? I mean, 850 words still sounds like a lot to learn. So, instead of trying to look at all of them, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to zoom way in on just one single simple word from our source, the Simple English Wiktionary.
And that word is milk. Yep, milk. I know, it sounds almost too basic, right? But stick with me here, because by unpacking this one little word, we can see the genius behind the entire system. And here it is. This is the aha moment, pulled right from our source. It says it right there, plain as day. Milk is on the basic English 850 list. So this isn't just some random example I picked out of a hat. It's official. This everyday word is one of the core building blocks of this entire system.
Okay, so let's break this word down, kind of like a little anatomy lesson. The secret sauce to making a tiny vocabulary work is that every single word has to pull more than its own weight. It has to do double duty.
And here's exactly what I mean. On the one hand, you've got milk, the noun, the white liquid you put in your coffee. But you can also milk a cow. That's the verb, the action of taking the milk out. One word, two totally different jobs. You don't need a separate word for the action. See? Super efficient. Now you might be thinking simple means messy or without rules, but that's not it at all. The whole system has a clear structure. Milk is an uncountable noun. That's just a fancy way of saying you have some milk, not two milks. And it's a transitive verb, another way of saying it's an action you do to something. This grammar underneath is what makes those 850 words so powerful.
Okay, so we've been super zoomed in on just one word. Let's pull the camera all the way back out and look at the big picture here. Let's talk about the real power of simplicity and why a system like this could actually matter on a global scale.
Just look at this. This is the list of translations from that one single Wiktionary page for the word milk. It just goes on and on and on. Wow, it really hits you, right? In a world with this many languages, finding some common ground is a massive challenge.
And that really gets to the heart of it all. The point of basic English was never to replace the beautiful complexity of full English, or any other language for that matter. Think of it more like building a bridge, a simple, sturdy, reliable bridge that anyone can use to get their ideas across, whether it's for technical manuals or science or just basic human connection.
So while this whole idea is pretty amazing, right? It does leave us with one last big question to chew on. In this quest to make everything clear and simple, what do we lose? What about the poetry, the nuance, the inside jokes, all that beautiful, messy stuff that makes a language feel like home? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.